countries. This has never happened in our country before. And the local DAs are part of it, and the attorney generals are all a part of it. You saw what happened in Atlanta with Fani, F-A-N-I, Fani. How do you pronounce F-A-N-I, Fani? They interviewed her. I would never have an affair with anybody in my office. Well, she had an affair. And they paid the guy almost $1 million.
Co-defendant in the election interference indictment against former President Donald Trump has more to say. Michael Roman claims Fulton County DA Fanny Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade were dating before she was sworn in back in 2021. Meantime, the state senators investigating Willis over her alleged improper relationship with Wade met for the first time. They are trying to see if any laws were broken. The committee could hear from whistleblowers inside of Willis's own office. This panel does have subpoena power, so they can also compel Willis to testify. Republicans want to hear from her, but Democrats think she can and should try to fight it.
It's not a given. No. You know, if I will certainly give her the opportunity, you know, and if I were her, I would want to be heard.
Some of it is very personal. I just don't think she would participate in it.
Now, just this week, Willis fought against a subpoena that would compel her to testify in Fulton County Superior Court next Wednesday. We still don't know if she will be able to be excused or if that subpoena will hold.
I never want to be a Marjorie Taylor Greene who has never met me, but has allowed her spirit to be filled with hate. How does this woman, who has the honor of being a leader in my state, how is it that she has not reached out to me? She can tell me, I don't agree with anything you're doing, but I do not agree with people threatening your life or the life of your family. That is conduct that is wrong and intolerable, and as a leader, I shall not stand for it.
No good deed goes unpunished, right? That's what they say. And if that's true, if no good deed goes unpunished, then what do we think the results of Fanny Willis's deeds are going to be? You know, luckily, we all get to find out. February 15th is a court date, and I'm looking forward to it. I almost feel bad looking forward to it as much as I am, but you know, this is what you get when you abuse and weaponize your position. And she did it for the most extreme sort of personal gain imaginable. I mean, just imagine for a second the hubris on this one woman. She thought that she had the power to destroy a president, to destroy a leading political candidate for her own political and financial gain. All while she had her own skeletons, man, her own blatant corruptions. What the hell did she think was going to happen? And worse than that, did she really think that she could perjure herself to the court when she explained herself? I mean, she admitted having a relationship. That's good. Good for you coming forward and telling the truth. But for some reason, instead of just telling the whole truth, instead of just saying, yeah, I hired my married boyfriend to go after Trump, basically because my case is trash and no one else would do it. I mean, why not just say that? The court might actually let that slide. Instead, in an affidavit, she lied to the court, lied to the judge. She said that the relationship started after the case started. And Trump co-defendant Michael Roman says that he's got proof that that is not true. And she's going to regret, I think, charging that guy. Of all the co-defendants, like 18 or 19 people, she's going to regret Michael Roman. And, you know, that's not the only proof that's filing up against old Fanny, right? And reminder, this is what happens when you're corrupt and people start coming forward. It emboldens and encourages everyone else who knows that you're a crook to also come forward. And once people start coming forward, man, people start asking real questions.
Well, look who's here. Joining us now, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from House Oversight. Congresswoman, a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, we've been wanting to talk to you about your ethics complaint against Fulton County DA Fanny Willis. She's overseeing the Georgia 2020 case against Trump. Can you tell us about your complaint?
Yes, I just filed this complaint against Fanny Willis because according to the Georgia Finance Disclosure Act, Fanny Willis, as a district attorney for Fulton County, is required to file financial disclosures. All office holders, we all have to do this. However, she did not file financial disclosures in 2019, 2021, and 2022. Now we all know about her secret boyfriend. It is now public. She was having a personal relationship with Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade is the prosecutor that she hired and is paying the most money out of her entire team. and he has the least amount of experience. He's never tried a RICO case before. She's paying him $250 an hour, which is nearly $700,000 she's paid Nathan Wade, but yet they're having a personal relationship. Here's the problem. Nathan Wade did not file as a lobbyist when he courted Fanny Willis as his girlfriend to hire him for this job. Now they've taken, luxurious vacations, Caribbean cruises, Napa Valley trips, and we don't know how many restaurants they've eaten at. How much has Nathan Wade basically paid off Fanny Willis for the job that he is being hired to do? And he's being paid by the taxpayers here in Georgia. Fanny Willis has completely betrayed the trust of the people here in Georgia. She needs to be taken off this case. This whole case needs to be dismissed. But the big thing that needs to happen is there needs to be a serious investigation on the ethics committee here in Georgia into Fanny Willis and Nathan Wade. Both of them have serious problems.
I mean, all of that makes perfect sense. And honestly, it sounds like the perfect kind of thing for some bipartisan agreement. But of course, that is the last thing that we'll ever get, because that's just not possible anymore. That doesn't happen. And on top of all that, on top of everything going on in Georgia, there is now a subpoena issued for Fanny by Congressman Jim Jordan to investigate, I believe, possible violations of the Whistleblower Protection Act, and even more pressing than that, a misuse of federal funds after Fanny literally fired a whistleblower who brought to her attention the fact that her office was spending our tax dollars on expensive computers and fancy hotels instead of gang prevention and youth outreach that the government gave it to them for. They spent money meant to keep kids out of gangs on fancy computers and fancy hotels. But as if that's not bad enough. But wait, there's more. Because like I said, when one whistleblower gets the courage, they all get the courage. And it's starting to look like the misuse of funds is not an isolated thing. It's not an isolated incident. And really, again, what did she think was going to happen? I hope that mugshot of Trump was worth it. I hope it was worth it, because it looks like her lust for Trump is likely to not just destroy her, but destroy maybe her entire office. And prove once again, one of the everlasting truths about liberals: anything that they accuse their enemies of, they are guilty of themselves. That almost never, ever fails. And I'm about to show you some local reporting that I have to say, guys, is doing a much, much better job than any national corporate media. But before I do, if you haven't already, guys, join us, be a part of this movement, be a part of this community, make sure that conservative voices get heard. This is going to be a really, really important year to do that, and I need your help. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, most importantly, share the channel. Take a look at this.
This has come under fire for having an intimate relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. Wade is assisting in the Trump election interference case. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the state capitol with the day's developments. Deidre.
And we heard from the first time today during that committee meeting that so-called whistleblowers from inside the DA's office, we were told, have contacted the committee chair accusing DA Willis of misconduct and the misuse of funds.
This is not any type of political witch hunt. This is a quest for the truth.
State Senator Bill Cowser dropped a bombshell as the meeting got underway. The committee chair said he's heard from several whistleblowers who are eager to testify.
There are whistleblowers inside the Fulton County DA's office that are raising complaints and allegations about the misuse of both federal funds and state funds.
Fulton DA Fanny Willis has come under fire for having an intimate relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. Willis hired Wade to lead the 2020 Trump election interference case.
You lose the confidence of the public in the fairness of our criminal justice system if they think prosecutors are engaging in prosecution so that their lovers can get rich.
Attorneys for several Trump co-defendants want Willis disqualified and the charges dismissed, saying she benefited financially from her relationship with Wade.
I think a political witch hunt or show trial would damage Georgians' faith in both our political and legal system.
Republican lawmakers spearheaded the committee over the objection of Senate Democrats who call the investigation a political witch hunt.
Well,
it's almost humorous, man. I get a real kick out of watching Democrats use the words political witch hunt. Man, it's almost like it's just impossible to believe that they can even say those words without feeling foolish. I mean, they are protecting a woman who has worked in concert with the White House to stop a presidential candidate. all while she's been hiding an affair, funneling obscene amounts of money to her alleged lover, lying about the relationship in court filings, and firing whistleblowers that tried to stop her from committing a federal felony by stealing money for her kids to buy Apple laptops. They think that that is what a witch hunt looks like, when they, of course, are the only ones engaging in a true political witch hunt. I mean, these are not serious people, which, of course, age-old truths prove it again. Anything these people accuse you of, they are guaranteed to be doing themselves.
When you get right down to it, it goes as far back as the 2020 election. That's unfortunate.
Over the next several months, the bipartisan panel will look into allegations of potential conflicts of interest and the misuse of state funds. Willis may be subpoenaed to testify.
It's not a given. If I will certainly give her the opportunity, and if I were her, I would want to be heard.
Now, the committee does not have the power to remove the DA from office, but based on their findings, they could make recommendations for changes in state law and also changes in funding appropriation. At the state capitol, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, well, it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. Thanks so much, Deidre.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of all this, and they say something better come of this, and I agree. How can it not? Unless we've all been led astray by the greatest misunderstanding and set of falsehoods that have ever come together, then Fanny Willis, and it sounds like a lot of her office, is actually corrupt, allegedly corrupt. So something better come of this. At the very least, she and Nathan Wade have got to be removed from the Trump case. I mean, there's so much more that I'd like to see happen, but that needs to happen first. And I imagine that's exactly what's going to happen. If it's proven that she lied in the court filing, that's going to be a real issue for her. And sadly for her, it's probably going to be her most minor issue. And just a reminder, if Governor Kemp wasn't such a spineless, prototypical, scared Republican, he would have looked into this immediately and he would have found out immediately, and it would not have taken long. But he wouldn't go near it. And even with all this coming out, he still hasn't made a peep. Weak. The guy is perfectly weak. It's Mitt Romney, Rhino Central. But anyway, that's just my take, guys. Let me know yours in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.